Hello, everybody, and welcome to... Oh, I always wanted to do this. Okay, welcome to the SRCast special, I guess, which is just a thing we throw in at the end of the other podcast as like a special thing. And this time, it's super special.
This is 20.1. This is the Spooky Stories addendum.
This is story time with Shale. I'm actually, like, I don't know, at some point when you don't have any stories, Shale, can you just, like, read a book or something to us? And you're just...
I have some books.
Yeah, just read some books to the people. I think they're gonna love that. Just to fall asleep to, or
I have literally read from like Grimm's fairy tales to get people to go to sleep before.
Yo,
I don't understand why people like it so much.
Yeah, but like, see, it's perfect. Shale, can I hire you? Can I like pay you to
You gonna have the Monster World audiobook?
No, not really. Just, better. I'm not that good at telling or writing stories, so maybe you'd have to actually like tell the people a grim tale. It's gonna be nice. Anyways, Shell had a story to tell, and we didn't have enough time, so now we're doing it here. I hope y'all are. Y'all got your hot chocolate or your what was it?
Y'all making hot cocoa?
Hot cocoa.
Yeah, get your cup. We've been playing this hot cocoa scratch game. It's all the rage.
Make yourself some hot cocoa on there.
So we're doing this second part because we ran out of time, and apparently man door hand hook car door wasn't scary enough for the Sierra Mist executives. I won't take it personally.
We're recording this on the same day as episode 20 of the ScratchRunning Podcast, but
yes,
HmYesQuite sadly left.
Oh yes, right, correct. He had to go. So
busy man.
He's a busy man. So where does the story start, Shell? Let me give you like a little.
So when I was the correct age to do so, I was in the Boy Scouts.
Mm-hmm.
And something you may not know about the Boy Scouts is that they have a few like offshoot groups, sort of like Boy Scout tangential related groups, right? An example of that would be the Venture Crew, which is sort of a higher age range. It's more focused on like just camping trips, that kind of thing. But the group that this story involves is called the Order of the Arrow. Now,
what?
The Order of the Arrow would like to remind you that they are not a cult.
No.
Despite their name and some of the other things that happen in this story.
Oh, okay.
I believe it.
I don't know. Like this story is my only real interaction with them,
which is probably good, right?
But yeah, there's some weird things that I will just say and roll past. And it's sort of like, yeah, they really want... I don't know. I feel like they're more surface level. Like, you hear this and you think, oh, that's a cult. But I don't think they actually do any, like, cult things. But, hey, I don't know. I never did that much with them. The way you join the Order of the Arrow is...
Oh, sorry.
Oh, hold on. The way you join the Order of the Arrow is in your Boy Scout troop. I don't know how people are selected, but you have to be like selected first.
Oh my lord.
And then you go on the like initiation camping trip known as the Ordeal, which...
The Ordeal.
All right.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. This is literally what it's called.
Not a cult though. Not a rap
cult,
group.
though. I swear, not a cult. I don't know. I feel like they're too disorganized to do anything bad.
They just want to sound cool.
Yeah.
So one year, myself, a few other people from my troop. Oh, I need a one-syllable name.
Dave.
Jam.
Jam. Okay, I'm gonna go with Jam.
Yes.
That's good. That's good. So myself, a few other people in my troop, including Jam, who was, I would like to mention this because it's important. Jam was like a model scout. You know, he did all those merit badges. He was well on the path of becoming an Eagle Scout, which, if you don't know what that is, that's the big rank. That's the high one.
It's like a black belt.
People put being an Eagle Scout on like their resumes. It's like,
what?
It's like prestige. I don't know. It's just like an extracurricular activity, and being an Eagle Scout is sort of like, yeah, I actually took this seriously.
Oh.
I see.
But yeah, he was model scout Jam. He was coming on this trip with us, and there was also like there was the other troop in our town, which was also sending some kids. I don't know. Or we just, I guess we hadn't like really sent anyone on this trip before, and so they just decided, send a bunch of kids all at once.
Oh boy.
So we get there. We sort of get separated into like age groups, and they sort of explained, like they had explained some of what the ordeal was prior, so like we knew what to bring. But they explain, okay, during this, you're not supposed to talk. You would be given, some food, but not a lot. So it was just sort of like a test of resolve or whatever. I don't know.
That sounds like a cult.
But yeah, right. It sounds like a cult.
They're not though. They're not.
They swear though.
We've
not
been
a cult.
told.
Not.
If you have to be reminded that you're not in a cult, you're in a cult.
It's not a
makes
good
makes a good point there.
It like had gotten dark, and so they let us out into this spot in the woods, and this one guy, I could barely see him or like hear what he was saying, and also I wasn't paying attention. But, he made some big speech about something, whatever, and then everyone had to line up and pull on a bowstring. This was very important. You had to do that.
Okay.
And then we were all shuffled off into the woods where we had to make like a little spot to sleep because it had like started raining a little bit, and we weren't given tents, so we were supposed to bring like a tarp and a sleeping bag, and you just like put the tarp down, put your sleeping bag down, then fold the tarp over. It was fine. Like it wasn't bad, but it was just like living in the outdoors, something.
Nature.
It's the ordeal.
The
ordeal.
Wait, don't you already do that as like scouts, like Boy Scouts?
I mean, when you do it with scouts, normally you will have like an actual tent that you set up.
Okay, but these guys were cool, edgy.
Just a tarp.
just
a tarp.
Well, you had to bring your tarp. It was an ordeal. You're supposed to test
Order of the
budget.
Arrow doesn't have that CR Mist cache they used to.
No. Yeah, the next morning we wake up, we're given our meager breakfast. This is like the most unimportant thing, but it's still something I think about sometimes, is that before we were given breakfast, they gave us bug spray, but it wasn't like aerosol bug spray. We were like specifically instructed to spray it on our hands and then wipe down our arms.
Yeah.
And then we were given our food, which was a piece of bread and a hard-boiled egg. And bread is whatever. I mean, I really like bread.
Bread's good.
Just a hard-boiled egg.
The thing that really stuck with me is that peeling the hard-boiled egg and eating it, you notice how much bug spray is on your hands because it's all coming off on the egg. And it was just like, if you had done these two completely independent steps in the other order, it wouldn't have been nearly as bad.
Oh.
But they wanted that.
Had us. I don't know.
It's the endurance.
Like, did they think it through? Did they like? Oh, I don't know.
That sounds not good.
It's part of the trial.
It wasn't like poison. It was just like this egg could have tasted like just an egg instead of an egg and bug spray.
Right.
I love my egg and bug spray in the morning. I was like,
there's nothing like a bug spray egg.
Seasoning.
So like a.
These guys just like misinterpreted bacon and eggs. And
gotta get the bugs off my eggs.
Bug spray.
Bug spray and egg.
Mugging an egg.
Go on, sorry.
Bugs.
Yeah.
And like what we were supposed to be doing was, because the place we were in was this sort of like camping area, and we were supposed to be doing like service projects, kind of, but there wasn't that much to do. Like the group I was with met up with another group, and we just started throwing pine cones at each other because we had nothing else to do.
That's so good.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, there was another thing sort of around the time of lunch. We're sitting in this area with a bunch of benches, and someone from the other troop in my town comes over and nudges me, and he looks at me and he says, "Shalebridge, you have to go to the bathroom." And I say, "No, I don't."
What?
And then he leans in closer and he whispers, "All the adults are watching us, but they don't suspect you. You have to go to the bathroom." And I think,
What the
all
heck?
right, I don't know where this is going,
but
but sure, fine. So I walk over the little hill into the little area with some trees in it.
What the heck?
And the oldest scout from that troop, who I guess like in the separating into little groups had like been paired up with the adults for some reason. I don't know. But he comes up to me and he says, "So they sent you." and he reaches into his pocket and he produces this giant bag of Sour Patch Kids, and he hands it to me, and he says, "Wait a little bit before you go back so it doesn't look like we're returning together." And then he leaves. I think, okay.
Thanks.
What?
I wait around for a little bit. I stuff the bag into my gigantic pocket, and I walk back down. Sure enough, the older scout and the adults have left at this point. And I walk back to the group, and I produce this bag of Sour Patch Kids, and immediately everyone's surrounding, like, the bag, because, oh man, candy. I love to eat the candy, and I don't want to deal with, like, handing out tiny bits to everyone. So I open the bag, I take a little handful, and I give it to the person who was whispering to me, and I say, "You deal with this."
What?
And then, everyone, they handed out a bunch of candy, and everyone got a little bit of candy during the ordeal. Because
ordeal.
No one cares.
It's part of the ritual.
Part of
You were chosen.
No,
It's
that
really
doesn't sound like
not.
it's part of the
That
ritual.
candy was 100% snuck in. That's why it was we were trying to hide it from the adults. Anyway, at some point later, right, we were all gathered up. It's like, oh, it's time to do the final part of the ordeal, something. I don't remember what it was at all. I just remember at some point we were in, like, this gigantic conga line, and, like, kids are still, like, crouching down for a second, picking up a pine cone and, like, chucking it over the line to hit someone.
Crazy.
But something happens. The guy from before shows up. He's still in his, like, weird costume. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. Before, when he was doing the pull on the bowstring thing, he was in this ridiculous costume, but you could barely see it because it was, like, really dark. But now it's really clear that he's wearing this, like, goofy headdress, and I don't even know.
All right, then.
But he
All
gives
right,
his
then.
speech, and then he's like, "All right, welcome to the Order of the Arrow." I don't think we were, like, officially induced. Like, there was probably some more paperwork or whatever that we had to do that I never did. But at that point, it was like, we've completed the ordeal, and we then got to have, like, a real, actual meal. It was like, dinner. We have some food. There's this gigantic sheet cake, and, like, everyone gets a piece, and there's still, like, half of it left. I went back for more. It's delicious. I mean, it wasn't actually that good, but it was, like, food.
You just had a piece of bread and some egg.
I mean, to be fair, after the bug spray egg, you'll eat whatever.
Yeah.
I will gladly eat
Bug spray.
3 like, tiny pieces of sheet cake. But yeah, then after that, there was still, like, another night because we weren't getting, like, picked up until, like, the morning after. So we get split up into 3 sort of cabins. There's the young kids, there's sort of the middle kids, and there's the older kids. I was in the older cabin, and, we put our sleeping bags in little cots or whatever. But we're full of energy because we've just had, like, a real meal, and there are, like, electric lights.
Got Sour Patch Kids in your belly.
So, yeah, exactly.
We got nothing else to do. We settled on going over to the middle cabin and trying to spook them by throwing pine cones at their windows.
Oh yeah, it
or
was
something.
classic.
Nice.
We loved. There were so many pine cones just everywhere. And they're like the little round ones. They're not the long ones.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
they're
yeah.
really good for throwing.
Oh, nice.
Now the middle cabin was interesting in that it wasn't on even ground. So, like, the back of it was sort of level with the ground, but as it came forward, the ground went down and the cabin stayed level. So there's, like, this set of stairs going up to the front entrance, and also there's this big space, big enough to, like, crouch and walk around in.
Gotcha.
Underneath the cabin.
Oh, what? Okay.
Now, we started out by just, throwing pine cones, and, I go over and I crouch and I hide underneath the cabin, and I can hear, them talking about whatever. There was something about, like, for some reason, the kids there started calling out about factions, but it was, like, with Transformer lingo, so they were calling us the Decepticons. Don't ask me why. But
yeah,
things begin to escalate because it becomes very clear very quickly that, oh no, they're not actually, there's not ghosts or anything. It's just other kids messing with us.
yeah.
So, people are, like, running circles around the middle cabin. Someone gets, like, taken in and starts getting, like, referred to as the hostage.
What?
I don't even know what I was doing. I
still
can
hiding?
hear that someone has gone up the stairs to the front door, gotten onto the railing, climbed onto the roof. So I know there are kids on the roof of the middle cabin. Apparently, this is probably the furthest that things went, was someone managed to get a hose, bring it to the roof, and then turn the hose on and start spraying water down the chimney.
Oh,
We were causing pure chaos, total mayhem.
Water damage.
And we're doing this for a while, and things are getting completely out of hand. And then we see the headlights of a car coming down the road, and we think, oh no, everyone has to leave. The adults have noticed what we're doing.
uh-oh.
Or
We
are
have been
at
throwing
least-
too many pine cones.
or are at least like going to be here. So most people from the older cabin scattered and just ran back to the older cabin. I was hiding underneath the middle cabin because I figure, we're gonna get yelled at. I don't really want to get yelled at least in person. So I can like hear as the adults yell at the kids in middle cabin, and then they leave and they go down to the older cabin. And I'm waiting underneath middle cabin for a while, and I'm not seeing the car return.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, how long do I have to wait here? And I wait. I'm pretty patient, so I wait a while.
Are we talking like an hour?
Not an
2?
hour, like
Oh, okay.
10 minutes.
Oh, okay. I was
around
gonna
that
say, all right,
time frame. So
Good.
a considerable chunk of time. So I go back, I walk back, and sure enough, the car is parked out in the front. The headlights are on, and I'm walking back, and I'm thinking, okay, whatever. I can get yelled at. That doesn't matter. I walk in the door, and they see me. They say, Shalebridge, where is Jam? I say, I don't know where he is. What's going on? And they say, we thought he was with you. Where is he? He's also missing.
Jam is gone.
I have no idea where he is. He could be anywhere.
I haven't
Anyone
seen Jam
could
in
be
a while.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You've been
I mean, he
sitting
came with us. I saw him in the cabin when we were all there. I saw him running around. I think he was probably the hostage at some point.
Oh my goodness.
That's the kind of thing that he would intentionally do. No one else has any idea where he is. The adults would like to know where he is.
Yeah, no kidding.
But at some point, it becomes clear that he's just not here. He's not coming back.
He's not
and
there.
I guess the adults were just tired or something because they leave. And someone says, all right, everyone, just let's go back to sleep. We'll figure this out in the morning.
What?
No.
So we all go
Poor
to sleep.
Jam.
And then at like 3 a.m., the adults come back, turn on the lights, and say, all right, everyone, we're doing a head count. All of the other cabins have been woken up. And
Oh no.
we get like marched down to like the main camp area, and we're counting. We're making sure everyone here is here. Surprise, surprise. Jam is the only one missing. We don't know where he is. We're doing this for a while, and like we'll count and recount, and it's like, yeah,
What?
the result has not changed. We still don't know where he is.
Yeah.
When all of a sudden, who should appear from the forest, just walking out? Jam comes out of the forest. He says, "Hey guys, what's going on?" We ask him where
brought
were
candy.
you? Where were you this whole time? And he's like, "Oh yeah, when everyone left, I was, in the forest, and I thought, well, I guess I'll just go to sleep here."
No.
Okay.
No,
Face
Jam.
Jam.
there's an imposter among us.
Yeah.
Let's go,
This is
Jam.
not the real Jam.
No, that's entirely in character for Jam.
Jam was just.
Be out in the forest, think, actually, it's pretty nice out here. It's not raining. Everything dried off because it was pretty sunny yesterday. I'm just going to go to
Let
sleep
me
in the
ask
woods.
you,
Jam's
did
just
Jam
vibing.
ever
He's
act
not
the same
wrong.
again after that day?
I mean, he was already a weirdo.
Did he?
If he was any different, either we wouldn't notice, or if he was like normal afterwards, we would notice. We'd be
Oh,
like,
yes,
he's
I see.
Normal all of a sudden. No,
Something in the
he was
woods.
still himself. But then
I'm a fan
as
of
we're-
Jam.
As we're going back to our cabins, because we finally found everybody, we can all go to sleep now.
Sure.
please. one of the older scouts was like talking about, all right, guys, tomorrow morning we're going to do like an apology. We will talk. We just need you guys to like stand behind us and look like you're really sorry about everything. Because apparently the reason that the adults showed up was because one of the like residences nearby could hear us yelling and called the police. So that's why they had been woken up and were coming out to like bother us to cut it out. But the next morning, we were never like asked to do an apology. Nothing came of it, except for the next scout meeting. Our scoutmaster, who's like this real like, I don't know. He's the kind of guy you think of when you think of a scoutmaster. He's all gray.
Yeah.
And he pulls us aside and he says, I heard something happened, but I wasn't given any specifics. Could you clear this up? And now myself and Jam were there, but also there was a third kid who did not like engage in the mayhem. He was just, I want to go to sleep. And we all just said, I don't know, things just, got a little out of hand. Nothing really that bad.
Yeah.
Pine cones were
And
thrown.
the scoutmaster was like, oh, okay, fair enough. And
wow.
nothing came of it.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Mission passed.
Yeah, that was the story of the cult trying to indoctrinate me or whatever. Didn't work out very well.
No.
Yeah.
Dang.
And Jam just going.
Jam.
Yeah, I mean, he was an Eagle Scout later.
Jam is a creature of the wild.
Yeah,
He's a
Jam.
druid.
He is.
He was a model scout.
Dude, his name is just like Jim in the end, and we're just like
Force of
almost-
nature.
he almost got the name right.
Scarily close.
Oh,
Yeah.
you are like weirdly close.
Oh wow.
Nice. All right, Sam, if you're listening to this.
James, if you're out there, I just want to know.
Ham. If that is your name.
All right. So that was SRCast 20.1.
Yep.
Hope you
We are recording
enjoyed Shalebridge's
all the
story.
future SRCast
Oh, wait.
episodes in 2020 are going to be recorded today.
Yeah, we're going to start on 20.2 now,
Yep.
which is more car door hook car man door.
Oh,
Hey.
yeah.
The sequel.
I just want to
Yeah.
say that someone just sent me a party invite once while I was chilling on my private island on Hypixel Skyblock.
And
So I just accepted it, and the person said, "I'm a big fan of the SR podcast.
right.
It's
I
cool."
remember, or I saw that right now.
Yeah.
It says-
So then I visited his island, and we took a
And-
screenie together. That's still my Scratch profile picture.
it's
Then
so
I-
good.
Yeah. And
Oh,
he gave
shout out
me
to
a
them.
stack of enchanted redstone and some bow that I can't even use because I don't do
Yo.
Skyblock dungeons.
Shout out.
So shout out to MVP Plus Wowzer G. Wowzer G.
Wowzer G. Yo, Shale, first of all, thank you
Wowzer
very
G.
much for telling that story. That was,
Thank you.
a good story.
I cannot think about pine cones now without thinking
About
like
pine
a bunch of
cones.
kids
You ever
chucking
just
them at each other.
I'm gonna see a pine cone next time I go outside, and I'm gonna think, how far can I throw this?
Yeet!
I'm going to be thinking about the Sour Patch Kids.
yes,
it's like
that's-
treasure.
Yep.
It was the secret treasure.
What's the
Adults
deal
are-
with
Yeah.
sour
They
sweets
produced
anyway?
a bag of gems of flavor.
Yep.
Sweet
incredible.
gems.
Oh, they taste like something, all right.
All right, Kieran, you want to say the funny line?
I think
Again?
Yeah, I think it's I mean, this is not the SRCast. We can do whatever we want. We can just this is
I
just
could just end here.
this is just
Yeah.
story time with Shale.
This has been episode 20.1 of Not the Scratch Running Podcast.
The Scratch Walking Podcast.
I've been Kieran Travis, and the record.
It cut out because it stopped.
Yeah, it's
Too early.
It's a good. That was perfect.